everyone, my name is Nur Iza binti Zulkifli.
Hi everyone, my name is Nurul Nabila binti Muhammad Isufan.
Hai, Assalamualaikum. My name is Nurul Abror binti Mama Khalil.
Hi, my name is Natasha Adira binti Anwar.
Assalamualaikum and very good day. My name is Nur Atira binti Badrul Hisham.
So, I will explain about the intervention for Encik Hafiz from the perspective of Puan Anissa using Maslow hierarchy of needs. Encik Hafiz is a new developer who has been with the company for many years. He is highly expertise, detail-oriented, and prefers a structured and procedural approach to his work. As an introverted individual, he values independence, consistency, and respect for his expertise. However, due to the recent conflict with Encik Hafiz feels that his experience and seniority are being overlooked. From Maslow hierarchy of needs, Encik Hafiz is mainly operating at the esteem needs level. At this stage, individuals seek recognition, respect, and appreciation for their contribution. When these needs are not fulfilled, motivation can decline, which is what we see in Encik Hafiz's behavior. Therefore, one key intervention Puan Anissa can implement is to publicly acknowledge Hafiz's expertise and proficiency. This can be done during team meetings, project briefings, or official communications where his contribution and experience are clearly recognized. By doing this, Hafiz feels valued and respected, not only by management, but also by his colleagues. In addition, Puan Anissa can involve Encik Hafiz in roles that reinforce his seniority, such as mentoring junior developers or reviewing critical sections of code. This allows him to maintain a sense of authority while still contributing meaningfully to the team. This intervention suits Encik Hafiz's personality because he values consistency, structure, and respect rather than constant collaboration or rapid changes. By fulfilling his esteem needs, Encik Hafiz is more likely to feel motivated and cooperative and open to working alongside younger team members. So in short, addressing Encik Hafiz's esteem need through recognition and respect helps restore his motivation and reduce resistance caused by feeling undervalued.
Now, I will explain the intervention for Encik Afiq also from the Puan Anissa perspective using the Maslow hierarchy of needs. Encik Afiq is a young and ambitious developer who is highly creative and driven by the innovation. Unlike Encik Hafiz, Encik Afiq is an extrovert person and enjoys spontaneous communication, teamwork, and also experimenting with new technologies. However, he feels very constrained by the rigid procedures and closely monitored work environments, which has caused frustration and also disengagement. In Maslow hierarchy of needs, Encik Afiq is operating at the self-actualization level. So at this level, individuals are motivated by the opportunities for creativity, growth, and also realizing their full potential rather than external rewards or recognition alone. So, to re-engage Encik Afiq, Puan Anissa should provide the opportunities for creativity and also innovation. For example, Afiq can assign to a pilot projects, innovation sprints, or tasks that allow him to explore new tools. This makes him feel trusted and empowered to contribute more ideas that align with his strengths. Additionally, Puan Anissa can encourage Afiq to work in collaborative environments where brainstorming and teamwork are emphasized. So this fits well with his extroverted personality and also his preference for open communication and shared problem solving. So unlike Encik Hafiz, Afiq does not seek validation through status or seniority. Instead, he values teamwork, innovation, and personal growth. By fulfilling his self-actualization needs, Afiq is more likely to stay motivated, engaged, and also committed to the organization. So the intervention for Encik Afiq focused more on giving him a space to grow. innovate, and also express his creativity, which help reduce frustration and also improve overall performance.
So to conclude, the reason this intervention differ is because both individuals have different personalities and values. Encik Hafiz values consistency and respect, while Encik Afiq values teamwork and innovation. By tailoring motivational strategies to individual needs, Puan Anisah can restore harmony, improve productivity, and strengthen team morale. Thank you.
Now we continue to question number 2, which related to topic 5, motivation. In addressing the conflict between Encik Hafiz and Encik Afiq at ABZ Solutions, I think strengths-based coaching provides a strategic foundation that focuses on identifying and developing employees' existing strengths rather than fixing weakness. According to Stephen L. McShane and Mary Ann 2025, says this approach helps employees grow by leveraging their existing strengths and requires a process that aligns with their strengths rather than forcing personality change. This strengths-based coaching involves 3 steps. First, the manager begins by identifying Hafiz's strengths in accuracy, documentation, and system stability, and identifying Afiq's strengths in rapid ideation, prototyping, and tool innovation. Second, followed by guiding both to apply these strengths meaningfully while addressing communication barriers. These tracks are connected through a structured sprint handover system that creates a predictable, low-conflict integration point for their work and ensuring that their strengths operate sequentially rather than competitively. Lastly, discussion of situational barriers and solutions can easily be made when the two of them can combine their ideas and potential to improve their work. These approaches are chosen because people are more receptive to feedback about their strengths, not flaws, and a stable adult personality limit interests, preferences, and abilities. Moreover, the redesign process not only restores productivity and morale, but also transforms their different personality from sources of conflict into complementary assets, to creating a sustainable system that values both employees equally while solving the initial problem of productivity loss. By using strengths-based coaching, it guides them to leverage their unique strengths rather than force personality change. Overall, ABZ Solutions can integrate its ability systematically, restoring productivity, teamwork, and morale. That's all from me. I will pass it to the next presenter. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum, a very good day. Today I will be presenting an in-depth analysis of the conflict between Encik Hafiz and Encik Afiq. In any organization, conflict is not just about work. It is often about the people behind the work. In this case, I have identified 3 core psychological and cultural drivers, which is social identity, the primacy effect, and cognitive dissonance. By understanding this, I aim to show why these 2 developers are struggling to see eye to eye. The first concept I want to explore is social identity and differentiation. We see a classic clash of generations here. Encik Hafiz defines his professional identity through his seniority and years of experience. For him, being a good developer means being procedural, structured, and following tried and tested methods. In contrast, Encik Afiq identifies with the new age of developers. His identity is tied to being tech-forward, innovative, and agile. He prefers a fast-paced, informal environment. What I find interesting here is how this leads to differentiation because they belong to different social in-groups. They view the other person as the out-group. This causes Hafiz to perceive Afiq's actions not as creative but as disrespectful and reckless. Meanwhile, Afiq does not see Hafiz as experienced. He sees him as a barrier to progress. They are essentially speaking to different professional language. Moving to my second point, I will discuss the primacy effect. This is a cognitive bias where the first information we learn about someone carries more weight than anything that comes later. From my analysis, both men are victims of their first impressions. Encik Hafiz formed an early opinion that Afiq is sloppy and ignores procedure. Now, even if Afiq does something right, Hafiz will likely ignore it and focus only on the mistakes that confirms his initial careless label. On the flip side, Encik Afiq's first impression of Hafiz was that he is overly rigid and slow. Because of this initial filter, Afiq now interprets every bit of feedback, even the helpful ones, as micromanagement. I believe this is a dangerous cycle because it prevents both men from updating their opinions of each other, even when they perform well. The final layer of this conflict is cognitive dissonance. This occurs when our actions or the situation around us conflict with our internal beliefs. I notice a clear split here, which is Hafiz is experiencing dissonance because he believes as a senior I should be respected. When Afiq ignores his methods, it creates a mental tension that Hafiz resolves by labeling Afiq as undisciplined. Afiq experiences dissonance because he believes his modern approach is superior. When Hafiz questions him, it hurts his ego. He resolves this by convincing himself that Hafiz is simply outdated. By using these labels, both men protect their own egos, but I must point out that this also prevents any real communication from happening. In conclusion, I have shown that this conflict is deeply rooted in how these two individuals perceive themselves and each other. It is not just about a coding style, but it is a battle of identities and biases. For this team to succeed, they need to break these psychological labels and find a common ground. And that's conclude my part of the presentation. Thank you for your time.
So now, I'm going to talk about the management solution that can be taken by Puan Anissa to resolve the conflict issue between the Encik Hafiz and Encik Afiq. So there are several method management solution that can be taken by Puan Anissa in terms of navigating implicit limits and long-term culture shift psychology safety. So for the first term, navigating implicit limits, Puan Anissa can use the method procedural justice over status and validating experience. So for the procedural justice over status, Puan Anissa can conduct the private interview for both employees and document every step to show the fairness and avoid the bias towards seniority between Encik Hafiz and Encik Afiq. And second, validating experience to open the chain for both employees. It means like, for example, like Puan Anissa can validate Encik Hafiz toward his contribution and experience. And for Encik Afiq, Puan Anissa can validate toward his clarity, innovation and flutter communication. And for the next terms, long-term culture shift psychology safety, Puan Anissa can promote a meaningful interaction and developing a learning orientation. So for the promote meaningful interaction, it means like Puan Anissa can strengthen the two-way communication where seniors speak and junior listen. So both of them will feel seen and heard and avoid the conflict. For developing a learning orientation, it means like Puan Anissa can try to normalize that the mistake as a learning opportunity, and both employees have a fail-safe discussion where the mistakes will be analyzed without blame and will reduce the conflict for both of them.